Which is 10 minutes. Okay, see you in a little bit. Good night, everybody. What's my name again? Diane. That's right. That's right, I forgot about that.
1 minute. Seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Joy Sagar, and on behalf of the pastors and our Board of Trustees, we welcome you to the Colby Temple for our Sunday service. I would like to welcome Darlene McCormick to light 3 candles. Symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. Thank you, Darlene. At this time, I would just like to take a brief moment before we get into our service. I would like to announce to you that we are ushering on a new pastor for our congregation. Please welcome Reverend Suzanne DeVries.
Going up and standing here, but I have to put sun around. So that's why I'm here. So I want to welcome you and welcome you. And where my heart is in creating a community that delivers and really most the love for God in our hearts and how to be with that love with each other. So I am very pleased to be a pastor. And I do welcome you, and I hope I get to know many of you. So please introduce yourself to me anytime you see me, and I will be very happy to know you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please rise as you are able for the invocation and remain standing for our first hymn, which will be led by Jamie Osmond on page 4, hymn number 4. Please join together for prayer. Dear Infinite Spirit, we give thanks for allowing us this opportunity, a beautiful day, a new way of life, a new way to look at things, refresh our perspective. strengthen our understanding and commitment in our own journey called life. We also give thanks for those that have stepped forward to serve their time today in all given capacities. We also give thanks for everybody that is attending here in person, in spirit, and also will be reviewing this later on as they get to it. Please give us the strength to stand in our own beauty and light at all given times. And we ask this in sincerity. Amen. Hymn number 4 on page 4.
We'll get there. Hard to be serious today.
For the beauty of the earth, for the beauty of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the beauty of each hour of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human love, brother, sister, parent, child, friends on earth and friends above, for all gentle thoughts and mild. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the church that evermore lifted holy hands above, offering up on every shore for pure sacrifice of love. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. You may be seated.
Please refer to your hymnals located on the handout, and also on the handout in the hymnal are our declaration of principles. Please join with me in reciting these principles together. If you don't have the brochure, they're on the inside cover of your book, of your hymnal. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expressions of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Turning to the back of your hymnal and also on your brochures, if you're using that, there is a healing prayer. Please say this healing prayer together. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. At this time, if you're wanting healing, please take a seat along either side of the wall and go to the first available healer. There are healers on each side of in the back. Please avail that if you're drawn to it. And those that are seated here will join in guided meditation. So at this time, I would like you to just relax and take some nice deep breath. Just take some breaths, inhale and exhale. And just relax. With our eyes open or closed, just find yourself in a comfortable place and just be. And just feel the presence of the divine love. Immersing yourself in the beautiful space, feeling your own presence as you are seated here. Just feel the vibration, feel the energies around you, and just be. Feeling the movement of healing, embracing every part of your physical body. Beautiful golden rays, vibrant, remarkable. Just take in everything it offers you, the comfort, the light, the love, care. And just be. And if it is in you, if it is in your desire to communicate with anybody that is wanting to be there, just welcome them in and allow them a comfortable space to be present with you. Be present with yourself and be present with those that are with you at this time. And as your moment of exchange completes, it is okay if they are fading away, returning to where they stepped forward from. And just take a couple of moments for yourself in this experience. And as you take in the next breath, with the power of your imagination, just see yourself at play. Something that really moves you to be a childlike, energetic, playful being that you are. Giggling, laughing, carrying on with a sense of joyful creation, just as play. Rejuvenating, recapturing your sense of play. Happy, cheerful. And ever so playful, you return back into the conscious breath as it goes in and as it goes out. And stay there for just a brief moment. Returning back to your physical body within your consciousness. Be aware where you are, where you're seated, and at your own pace, you can open your eyes. Join us back here in Colby Temple. It's wonderful. Thank you for being here. Are we all back? Fantastic. I would like to thank our healers, Lori Carter, Darlene McCormick, Reverend Judy Cooper, Coquette Cruz, Jackie Arnold. Somebody shifted, you went out of my spatial awareness. And Marty Hathaway. People shift. It's like classroom teaching. Where they went? Somebody's missing. So in this duration of meditation and healing, if you have received a healing resulting in a correction or improvement, please complete the yellow cards that are inside your hymnals, and you can hand it to our pastors at the back, or if you want to take them home, you can, and send it to us or bring it back next time you're visiting us. Before we get into the next hymn, I just wanted to mention just plainly, sometimes our meditation become a drab or little monotonous part of an experience, even though they're exciting. There's always an allowance to go into that happy part of meditation where you can dance and sing and do whatever you can in your mind, what you cannot do over there. So just you can be playful. Know that that's meditation, that's finding your sense of joy there. Our next hymn is on page 44, or it is hymn 44, Higher Grounds. Please rise if you are able to.
Pressing on the upward way, new heights I'm gaining every day. Still praying as I homeward bound, Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. But lift me up and let me stand, my faith on heaven's tables land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Heart has no desire to stay where doubts arise and fears dismay. Though some may dwell where these abound, my prayer, my aim is higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand, by faith on heaven tables land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. I want to live above the world, though angry darts at me are hurled, for faith has taught the joyful sound, the song of saints on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand, by faith on heaven's tables land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on solid ground.
It did itself.
Okay.
You may be seated.
We're just making sure nobody is falling asleep here. You're on the movement and motion here. We're successful at that. It is now time to introduce our guest speaker. And it's an utmost honor and excitement to introduce Reverend Diane Davis. And she has been a CAM certified medium, healer, teacher, coach, guide, mentor to a lot of us, and is always there if there is a need of exchange of communication or have something to talk about or discuss on aspects of energy and vibration and conversations about life. She has also been in different roles within the community on different committees and aspects of participation. And she has a great sense of humor. And you will witness that in addition to what you have just experienced in sense of humor. Please welcome with a warm applause, Reverend Diane Davis.
I've already warned the people that I was listening to Donna Summer sing Hot Stuff before I came. I just want you to know that it's been quite a week trying to figure out what to talk about. A lot of people want to talk about hauntings. I don't. Anyway, I was in the line at Publix, and I choose a line that has a cashier, a real person standing there, because I don't want to be outmaneuvered by machines totally in my life yet. They're coming, but not yet. So, as you stand there and you're ready to put your food on the conveyor belt that's going to go by this cashier and they're going to scan it in for you, there's magazines. You know, magazines, they're right next to the candy. None of you stare at these things? Well, there was a wonderful magazine called Paranormal something something. I'm sorry for the authors of it. I'm not going to be spouting your names necessarily, and I don't mean to be ignoring them totally, but the one statement on this Paranormal magazine was how to talk to ghosts. So I've been a medium for 45 years. Yeah, long time. Thank you. Thank you. I've had my share of ghosts. And the interesting thing with it, when I saw this, I thought, yes, this is something I must learn. It's that paranormal thing this time of year. So it made me realize that I didn't really want to talk to you about ghosts either. However, talking to ghosts might be different. So I may share that with you later. So I realized that as a spiritualist, our first principle is we believe in infinite intelligence. It is the way that we often refer to an omniscient energy in life and in the universe. Suzanne referenced it as God this morning, and that's true too. It can be whatever you term it, whatever you call it. I just want you to know I'm not waving my arms around a lot with great gestures because I usually hit them on this podium a lot, and I would prefer not to go home bruised. Just saying. So here we are, and we believe in this infinite intelligence. And did I accelerate in you the word infinite? Infinite. And this infinite energy that is all life to me, because I call it the isness. And the isness is everything to me and one thing more. And it's that one thing more that you haven't discovered. It's that one next blink of your eyes. It's that one next breath that you will take in. It's that one new relationship that you may expand into. It may be that one next job that you decide to take. It may be that one next car. It may be that one next place that you move. There's all kinds of opportunities. So at this time of year, while everybody wants to scare themselves, I know you're not one of those, but I know somebody in this audience who loves it. I'm just saying. And of course, I'm not pointing. So there are a lot of people that like to scare themselves. And there are a lot of people that over the years, I've been called an abomination and all kinds of wonderful things to my face by people who didn't understand about the ability to communicate with life after death. And the beauty of that to me is this, the soul goes on forever, forever. That's a long time. I think that's longer than a gazillion years, but I'm not sure. I haven't been there yet in this life. I will be. And if anybody comes back and tells you they've talked to me and I'm already gone, don't believe it. And you know why? Because the soul goes on forever. And it has a wonderful opportunity to expand itself in this physical body. And in this physical expression, we take that infinite energy and we use it to buy those new cars and new homes and expand into those new jobs and those new talents and new skills, to develop friendships and associations that are extremely meaningful and some not so hot. You know, the not so hot ones? Yeah, well. So the last 3 days or so, I've been talking to some people that are going through major changes. And all of us in our lives at this time on this planet are going through and experiencing change. Whether it's at the grocery store when you're checking out and you love to scan your own groceries, go for it. Whether you love being on the computer and you Google everything and you know it's always the truth, yeah, go for it. And the infinite is infinite. And so there's this wondrous energy that you are, and I am. You've heard of I am? There's this wonderful energy that helps you heal, that helps you discover, that helps you be all that you are. And in our lives, we are constantly reminded of what we're not. We're constantly reminded that we're too this or not enough that. And that's not true. You are the sum total of every moment that you have existed in this lifetime. And that sum total is pretty special because that's who you are. So the words supernatural, I love it. Because what I've enjoyed experiencing for many years, many people in this room have also done so. At different levels of experience, at different opportunities of their explorations. And that infinite has guided and directed and shown opportunities, not because it's fatalistic and not because there's something you have to do in order to be worthy and in order to have all the things that you're wanting in life. Want and desire are wonderful emotions that create a passion. And the passion is something that will fire within you. And that passion might not be compared to somebody else's. And no, it's not going to be compared to me. And no, it's not going to be compared to even the person sitting next to you or a person who you feel is a vital sample, an example of what you want to feel and who you want to be. You are the creator and the co-creator with the infinite. And the beauty of that is you have not made mistakes in your life when you didn't do something and whoops, I told you. And you did something that was contrary to what other people thought, and somehow it didn't turn out the way you thought it would, but it turned out. A woman came to see me the other day. She's gone through incredible grief and incredible difficulty in her life. Young woman, been married for many years, 12, 13, 14, and suddenly he found someone else. Total surprise for her. And a comment was made to me, "I'm so unlucky." And I said, "Why do you think you are?" And she said, "Because these things happen to me and things don't work out." And I said, "Could I give you another way to think about it?" And she said, "Sure." So I did. I said, "Do you realize it's pretty lucky that you learned about it now instead of years from now, when it would create even a greater ripple of change in your life and a greater harshness for you emotionally? Did you ever realize that within this universe, there are always choices? And when we think we can only do something one way, there's always another way. It's quite incredible, actually, because I'm still learning how to talk to ghosts. And the exploration is what you want. The discovery is what you want. You want that place within you that excites and is willing to feel something new, something different, something unassuming, not because you're a good or bad person. Most of us have had conditioning in our early years. I really hit my knuckle. All right. Most of us have had conditioning in our early years, and that conditioning has an awful lot to do with how we see ourselves even now. It doesn't matter our age. And sometimes the way we see ourselves or think we should be able to act or function, create, isn't the way it's working. And yet we will constantly feel that maybe we haven't done enough, or maybe we haven't bought enough, or maybe we haven't made enough money to buy enough, or maybe we haven't explored our talents and our skills that are in totally different arenas of life because we did what we should. How many of you live by shoulds? You don't need to raise your hands. I know who you are. Just kidding. Ram Dass used to say, I'm tired of being should upon. It's just a statement, but it's true. So scary at this time of year? Yeah. And how many of you have already done something to prepare for Halloween where you're scaring yourself a little bit, or you're willing to go into that haunted house that has these people that jump out and they're wearing what's the word? The blood. They're dressed up, made up to look like, yeah, those people. And then you're worried that a zombie's going to show up at your front door. And the interesting thing with Halloween and scaring ourselves is the holiday, as it was, the Halloween celebration started in another way for totally different reasons, perhaps. And so what we now do is, isn't it, how many of you have purchased candy to have at your home in case a little person comes with a costume on, knocking on your door? Raise your hands, would you? Oh, 2 of you? Yeah, right on. Okay, so the rest of you live in the camp? I don't think so. We close our streets off during this time period because of all of the interesting people who think we have public parks, and we do not. This is private property. And also because of many times people are looking to us for the weird, the sensational, those things that go bump in the night. Remember that? Ghosties and ghoulies and beasties and things. Didn't you read that? So what happens with the infinite at this point? We close off our streets for purpose because of the fact that we want to keep this place being what it can be for us as well as others who are coming to visit and those who will come long after many of us have gone onto a different plane of reality. Is it weird? No. It's infinite. And in your life, you have done things that allowed you to have newness and opportunity, and you have faced the scary. You have faced scary in you. It may not be the same as that person sitting by you or across from you or in front of you at this time. And that doesn't matter. It was you pushing you, you exerting you, you having a passion to discover something further in yourself. I have told this story, but I drove into Los Angeles, never having been there, and I was towing a trailer with a 4-cylinder car, and I'm going up and down these things, and the trailer's it's fishtailing, I believe that's what they call it, when it sort of swings from lane to lane. I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know what I was going to do when I got there. I didn't have a job. I had just worked 21 days in a hospital registering charges on a computer to earn money in Phoenix to go to Los Angeles. Yes, I was a younger girl at that time. I had long hair. You wouldn't have recognized me. I was a little different. I kept a straight face then. Anyway, and the beauty of it is, though, I was scared, that I was deliberate. I was frightened, and yet I was searching. I was fearful, and we all have fears. Fears if we'll have enough, fears if we're going to be capable. And one thing that happens when you get older is you begin to have a reluctance about your life, how long you're going to live. And there's that joke that I thought it would take me longer to get this old, but it didn't. So you've got a wonderful weekend here still left, because tomorrow's Halloween, so it's part of the weekend, to explore your fears and to remember that that infinite is creating within you constantly. It's never gone. And it's not ever gone, because of anything you've done, said, or been. No relationship that you loused up, messed up, couldn't do. No job that didn't turn out okay. No house, no car, no blah, blah, blah. And you know what's really wonderful about the infinite? It's infinite. So you have an opportunity to discover more of who you are. And you have an opportunity to discover if any of those fears really serve you. And if they don't, it doesn't mean they're wrong. It means discover an alternative. Just like the woman that said she was unlucky, I gave her another way to experience something. And that alternative way is always there for you. We believe in natural law, and that's one of my babies, and I say that because I've been teaching it and I love it. So you can read about it and how it helps you be happy and okay. And then if things are not so hot, there is more discovery. But even natural law can be real cerebral and mental because you've read enough books on it. But are you living it? Living it is trickier, because even this morning, I felt a sensitivity that I would consider a little fear. It's a little one, you know, little ones, because I didn't have a clue what I was going to talk about. I just knew I wanted to be here because I love it. And I want to just mention something else, is that talking to ghosts, it's a tiny little article in this magazine. I mean, it was a little article, and it was really about communicating. But the bottom line said, always talk to them with respect. I just thought that was amazing. it made me aware of why wouldn't you? So I'm gonna leave you with another joke. Because I found it on Google. And that is, do you know why mummies don't take time off? They're afraid to unwind.
Thank you for those infinite possibility you left with us, Reverend Diane. Her information can be found on our website for classes, lectures, sessions. If you're drawn to her, please do so. This is the time we would like to invite Damien Bonzoli to perform special musical interlude for us. At the same time, our ushers will be passing the basket to you. We thank you in advance for your generosity. And please enjoy. Thank you, Damien. It was wonderful. Thank you, Damien. Please take a moment to say gratitude for the offerings. Dear Infinite Intelligence, we give thanks for the offerings that have been made. We appreciate them as these funds go towards the upkeep of our historical buildings and our ability to offer such services here and hereafter. We appreciate that everybody be blessed in many different ways and in a very surprising and pleasant way. Amen. A little bit of infomercial time, so please be patient. Next Wednesday, November 2nd, our message bearer for our demonstration of spirit service will be Darlene McCormick. She's right here with us. Next Sunday, November 6th, our Sunday speaker is Reverend Don Cassidy. Next Sunday, Lyceum is presented by Darlene McCormick as well. This is an adult Lyceum, also known as Sunday School. Every Sunday, it takes place right here in this building from 9:30 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Also, reminding to participate in absentee healing, please print the name and the first initial of the last name of a loved one, friend, or even a pet in our healing book at the left corner of Colby Temple. In your hymnals, there are also flyers and brochures for camp events, and they are also available at the back of the temple. Please grab some extra ones if you are wanting to take one home for your friends, etc. We have an event today titled Spirit Trumpet Making Workshop, presented by Reverend Dr. Louis Gates, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Learn how to make a trumpet to communicate with the spirit realm. All supplies will be supplied. Then attend a trumpet seance during his workshop, allowing you to charge your trumpet and to learn how to conduct a trumpet seance. We also have a tour scheduled for today, Casadega After Dark, Finding the Spirits Tour Halloween Edition. This will take place from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. this evening. Also on our website, casadega.org, we have a list of monthly information of activities, events, also information about the healers, mediums, etc. can be found there. So please make use of that to keep up to date with our calendar and offerings. If you are able to rise at this time, please rise for our next hymn on page 157. Isn't it wonderful?
Wonders and mysteries ever will unfold. Blessing of the infinite, molten lay as gold. Bringing the messengers, bright with voices clear. Singing of eternal peace, far from mortal fear. Isn't it wonderful what Spirit can do? Oh, isn't it wonderful, so perfect and true, that life so glorious revealeth the mind, forevermore victorious in eternal light. Eternal victories laying over all, deep in spirit messages when the Spirit calls, reading and heralding all of mortal play, singing of eternity in a joyous night. Isn't it wonderful what Spirit can do? Oh, isn't it wonderful, so perfect and true, that life so glorious revealeth the might, forevermore victorious in eternal light. Power unlimited from the realms above, blessed with the dignity of undying love, shineth triumphantly as the angels sing, singing of immortal hope and eternal spring. Isn't it wonderful what Spirit can do? Oh, isn't it wonderful, so perfect and true, that life so glorious revealeth the might, forevermore victorious in eternal light. You may be seated.
It is my pleasure again to welcome Reverend Diane Davis for our messages at this time. Please welcome Reverend Diane Davis.
Thank you. I'd like to cut to the chase because I haven't had much to eat. When we first started this morning and Jamie came up to sing the hymn and Joy wasn't quite through, and Jamie and I looked down at the floor and there's this little brown mushroom. And both of us stared at it because it hadn't been there before. I think we thought it was an apport. Just because the drawer knob fell off. You gotta make things work. Does anybody want a message or do you just want to get to Grove service? Something that I enjoy. Oh, wait a minute. How long can I talk? What's a few minutes? 3 messages? Okay, my first I'm allowed to give 3 messages. My first message to all of you is call home. Even if you live alone, practice with your answering device. Really? Only 3? Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't cough. The woman on the end here, blonde, white hair. Yes, ma'am, you. Hi. You want a message? Are you sure? It has to historically be really profound. However, one thing I will tell you is there's some ambivalence because of choices you want to make. And it feels to me that as you get into the latter part of this month, coming right up November, it feels to me that you're going to do some new things or set your course on some new things you want to accomplish and do. It feels the steps for these are going to be late February into early March, and I would just tell you to go for it. It feels to me that you have a very strong interest in spirit and afterlife, and yet you also have a little uncertainty about it because it's sort of over here. You got it? And that's okay. Having a skeptical experience in life or an uncertainty is a wisdom because it will help you discover truth for you in anything. And you are in a time period of change that started about 2.5 years ago. And as you get through 2023, then you're going to be able to make a move. And then you're going to be able to do something where you really want to be because it's not where you are right now. And I feel as though that you have a gentleman who has passed away connected to you. And I felt that towards the latter part of his life, he would have had to use assistance for walking. And I feel as though he would have walked with kind of like his gait. He would have thrown his hip a little bit in walking. And the interesting thing about this man is the fact that I feel as though that in the dream state, dreams during sleep with you, and I'm making this message long because I got through, is that this man, I feel, has been encouraging you because in the dream state, dreams during sleep, you're getting encouragement and you're also getting physical healing for a condition here. And it's just stabilizing. There's not an emergency or anything like that, so don't hear that. But it just feels like you're on your course. Keep going. And thank you for being here today. Okay, I'm coming over here. Maybe not. Maybe I'll go here. Maybe not. Suzanne. Yeah, you. I know, in this fun, I get 3 messages. And you're one of them. it feels to me that as you get into the latter part of November, early part of December, there's some papers to sign. And I felt like these are a contract or a document, something that you're going to make an agreement about. It's not life-threatening, don't go there, but it does feel as though it is a commitment on your part. And I definitely feel like I want to encourage you to move forward toward it because it feels very productive. I also wanted to tell you, Suzanne, what you were chaplain in hospice, is that correct? I wanted to make sure I gave that correctly. That training and that experience, I feel, in this next 16 to 18 months is going to be something that you're going to kind of pull out of mothballs. Not that you would, because you're excellent at talking with people in need. But I feel like there's something that's recreated with that or something that's regenerated from it. And that feels important. There are 2 women who have passed away connected to you. And one of them, I feel she would have worn this thing. She would have worn unusual clothing. I know that sounds odd, but she would have worn like long flowy things when people were in tight skirts, so to speak. She would have worn a lot of jewelry when people didn't have a lot on, that kind of thing. She was very unique in her personality. And I felt like she had long hair, it came down a little bit below her shoulders, and it had the, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, it had like the kinky curly look. And so it wasn't like styled smoothly. And the beauty of this person who's passed on, I feel, is the fact that there is something the 2 of you shared mutually in terms of your faith, in terms of your belief systems, and in terms of your lifestyles some years ago. I felt like the other woman, I don't feel her presence real strongly, but what I will tell you is that over these next 6 months, this is going to be an interesting time period for you because you've had phenomena in your home, and you're going to notice that if I was facing your house, in the back right corner, it would be northwest corner. And no, you all don't get to run right over there, honest. But what I want to tell you is, I think there are plants over there. And what I will tell you is if there's something with the planting there, and it feels to me that it has a lot to do with people who have lived in your home before. So that those plants may have been there a long time. But as I'm speaking with you about this, I see Jackie Bizel's face. And I knew her moderately. That's who owned Suzanne's house previously. I didn't know her well. I lived next door to her for a couple of years, but I see her face. And I would want to tell you that your healing capability is going to be magnified because of your expansiveness in the yard and in expanding something with your own meditation area or a place for you that is kind of your downtime. I get to sit here and enjoy. And I leave that with you. And good luck. Okay, I get one more. I don't mean to make such a big deal about it, but it's a big deal to me. But I will tell you this. Grove service is next, and there are going to be some readers here that are very able to touch into your life and will want to. If you hear my voice, it's starting to have that. Wonderful. I think it's raspy sexy. What do you think? However, okay, I need to go over here somewhere. The woman, I can't say you're in gray because you're sitting next to gray, but the woman, you have blonder hair than the gray next to you. Does that help? No. The two, okay, there's three women sitting right here. Yes, ma'am. And the middle one, you have gray on? Yes, got it. Okay. Did you want a message? Okay. And Damien, your song was beautiful, by the way. Thank you very much. See, I can maneuver that way. As I'm speaking with you today, one of the things I see are your hands. I see them very busy. I see they're very talented, and I feel you're very capable. There's something you're going to be producing and doing in the next 6 months that I feel will be a new opportunity, either business-wise or it produces income opportunity for you. And it feels like there's an element of newness about it. So there's an aspect of it that you're still kind of learning or discovering, and I say, keep going. There's a feeling with you also that you're quite a healer. If you have not been involved in a medical or a healing profession, I'd be surprised. And my surprise would be the fact that because of the fact that when you were a little girl, there was a woman, she was about 5'2", she was full in figure. And I felt as though this woman was a toucher. She would touch, tap, love, pat, and you experienced her. This is a feeling of a grandmother with you in that generation. And I would want to just mention to you, ever since you were very, very little, you have felt very strongly that you had something more to do with your life. It's a part of you that keeps you kind of driving toward accomplishing. And I want to say, don't give up. The soul of us wants to create. It always pushes a little bit. So just know that that's very human. As you get into the next year and a half, this is a time period that pushing will be stronger, but you're kind of in line with it because you're already feeling excited and passionate. Keep your hands moving, busy. And her hands became arthritic, or she had difficulty with them prior to her passing. It feels to me that you're not going to do that. Don't worry, don't compare. And also, I want to give you a name. And this is a name of what we say in the living. And it feels like the name Roger or Rogers. And I would want to just leave that with you. Isn't that fun? And this is like the Clue game. I had it in the Blue Room. Anyway, but the name Roger or Rogers. And I want to say, just observe in the next 3 months, this person giving you either legal help or rules and regulations, information of, and I'm saying it in a very broad way. It could be a realtor, it could be an accountant, but what I feel is they're in what I call your corner. They're helping you. There's somebody that you are going to be able to look to for that kind of information. And that too is going to help you with new things. And bless you and thank you. And thank you all for being here.
Sunday, we turn our clocks back. So when you come next week, get here before we're closing. Put your clocks
Okay. Thank you for the public service announcement, and thank you, Reverend Diane, for 3 beautiful messages. Fantastic. As she mentioned in her lecture about natural law, I'm pretty sure many of us present in this room have benefited from her natural law workshops and teachings. And she has one coming up very shortly into the next month. I don't have the brochure or the date with me, but if you look on her website, pardon me? Next Saturday. It will be next Saturday. And if you're drawn into her ability to nurture and teach, it will be a wonderful place to be there. So make use of it. Okay, at this time, we would like to remind everyone that We will have our afternoon message service right here, starting at 12 noon. A group of mediums and student mediums will be giving spirit greetings to as many individuals as they can during that given hour. Everyone is welcome to attend, and if you have more to call, just call them and just make sure they're here by 12 o'clock. We encourage you to visit our bookstore today, which is open from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. and Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We also have special working hours due to the Halloween celebrations and openings, so that information can be gathered at the bookstore or just by going on our website. I do have to say one thing. All this talk about Halloween and everything, it makes me look forward for November 1st. Candy is gonna go on sale. Optimize your resources. I learned that a long time ago. So I'm really looking for some candy. With that being said, just like sugar raises energy, please rise for the next time as you're able to. Let there be peace on earth. It's on page 203. It's hymn number 203. And please remain standing for the closing prayer.
I'm ready. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, children all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Please join me in the closing prayer. Dear infinite intelligence, once again, we give thanks for beautiful words of encouragement, allowing us to see life differently and knowing that there are infinite possibilities. And wherever we are, we can always make a choice and do something more. I give thanks to everybody that shared their spirit, their love, and their energy and presence here. Please allow us to choose life and make life and create life and make more memories as we go on our days ahead. Amen. Thank you for being here.
Oh, because I'm doing this. So since he ended, I transitioned it over. Oh, okay, yeah.